Headphones on, let's do this.
Hey, do you know of a podcast I could listen to that has nerd and comic books and stuff? I really can't find one.
I say, you ever heard of the Nerd Dumb Podcast?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Dome Podcast, episode 277. I'm your podcaster without fear, Luke, and today I am joined with...
Hi.
Hi. Word. It's Ryan.
Hi. Again.
And I am the alliterative Andrew. Was it my turn? I'm sorry.
Yes,
I put it in the notes.
I mean, there's just the... Well, I mean, that pause had twins, is what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
Classic.
Open the notes.
Chris Hoffman, co-founder of Validity Studios and co-host of the most organized podcast on the internet.
Yes.
Happy to be here, Luke.
First time, long-time listener, first-time caller. I have a question in 3 parts and a statement.
Oh. How have you guys been since the last time we recorded?
Oh,
Yeah,
peachy.
whatever.
Peachy?
Yeah, peachy keen. Used to say that a lot. You can be keen and you can be peachy. You can be peachy keen. Depends on. You kind of have to make your own weather. You know what I mean?
Oh, what?
So my wife always tells our kids if they're in a bad mood, she's like, "You make your own weather." Oh, all right. I'll just be happy about this. I have a better attitude about what's going on.
Okay. Brian, how about you?
I'm good. I got real sick this last week. And I threw up for 12 hours. And then I was fine the next day. But my abs still hurt. So this laughing is doing me great.
He just starts weeping.
Then heaving. Ow.
But he's going to have a rad six-pack by the end of it?
Yeah.
It's the classic weep and heave workout.
Start selling a book. Unlocked the secrets of abs.
Get really sad and eat some bad pork.
Yeah.
Aw.
Andrew, how about you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Awesome. So I know last time we talked, Ryan, you were the only one that had watched Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, I saw
was?
the first episode.
Oh, that's right. You watched the first episode. That's right. Have you finished it?
No, but we're close. I love it. I
Okay.
still love it. I love everything about it. I really do. I love the art style and how it breaks into comic book panels at certain points in the story, and I just really like it. I like the story. It's different. I think they've done Norman Osborn really, really well. I really like this incarnation of him, and the voice actor does really well.
Yeah. Did you watch any more, Andrew, or did you just that first
No, I've been
episode?
watching The Adventures of Superman from the 1950s with my wife. Those have been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go
Is
ahead.
that which Superman? Is that the one with
George Reeves.
George Reeves. Yep, that's my mom's favorite.
It's pretty good.
I did finish Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's at first the animation style was like I talked about before. I was like, it's not my favorite, but it definitely grows on you when you watch it. They do handle the suit situation pretty quickly. But then, for me, when they drop a Daredevil in there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm here now.
All forgiven.
I'm in. And like from then on, it was just great. Like the way they the story that they do with Tombstone
Yeah.
is really good. I was like, I really didn't care. Like I cared about Tombstone and like, oh, how is Spider-Man and or Daredevil gonna beat him? But now I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of cared about Tombstone a little bit more. And then yeah, Norman was done very well. And there is like little cameos from an Avenger pops in there, which is nice. But yeah, no, I've liked it. I liked the ending kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger for a season 2 that involves a little more Daredevil. So yeah, it's really good. I at first I was kind of on the fence about it because of the animation style, but after a minute, after a couple episodes, it just kind of rolls through. And I was the same way when I first watched Into the Spider-Verse. I remember like the first 10 minutes, it took me a second with the animation style where it was kind of like the backgrounds were kind of blurry and it looked like I was watching a 3D movie with my 3D glasses off, but I kept watching it and the story was so good. I just kept rolling with it. So kind of the same thing. But yeah.
I also love, we haven't mentioned Sister Grimm, Nico Minoru. I love that she's in it. I love her character and I want more of her. I liked Runaways. I really liked that TV show that they did when in the Hulu days before that stuff kind of died. And I really like her, like the actor that plays her, I love. And I love that she was the voice in that game that I loved that I played recently, the one that was based off of XCOM, Marvel, I forget.
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loved that she was the voice in that. So I was like, why didn't they just have her be the voice in this one? But I love the character and what they're doing with her in this too. But.
Yeah. I actually tried to go watch Runaways to try and find it streaming. It's not on Hulu, Disney Plus.
Oh, really?
And I was like, okay, Inhumans is here, but Runaways isn't. All right. Which I did try and rewatch the first 2 episodes of Inhumans, and I'm just like, this is
why.
I thought I'd give it another shot, and I'm just like, it's like it was that era of Marvel. It was like, stop trying to make the Inhumans a thing. Nobody wants this. Just wait it out. You will get the X-Men back. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to have mutated people, but not. So just wait it out. And I'm glad that they kind of just stopped. They were just like, all right, we're not going to do Inhuman stuff anymore. Because between that and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they had like 3 seasons of Inhumans. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Lockjaw. Just give me Lockjaw and I'll be fine.
They did give you Lockjaw.
They did. But now they just need to put him in, if they do a season 2 of Miss Marvel, and just let him hang out with Kamala and we're good. Totally fine. Don't need the rest of them. We got Black Bolt in the weird, or in the Multiverse of Madness stuff where he actually had his cowl on. But yeah, it's just tough. It was tough. I was like, but I do have some news. So we got a bunch of announcements from DC between their comics and their TV shows and stuff coming out. So we got a new creative team that's going to be taking over Batman, and it's going to be a new Batman #1. And it's coming out in September, and it's Matt Fraction and is it Jorge or George Jimenez? Jorge Jimenez, right? Yeah. They're taking over Batman, which is awesome. Matt Fraction hasn't. I was trying to think the last time he had, because I know he went over and did a bunch of TV stuff, but I was trying to think of when the last time I remember him writing a comic was. And I think my brain wants to say it was Sex Criminals with Zdarsky, but I don't. Yeah, I just can't remember. So it's nice to see him back doing Marvel, or sorry, doing superhero. Next we got a new Supergirl. A comic is coming out on May 13th. And this summer, DC's publishing initiative is called Summer of Superman. So you're going to see a lot of super related stuff. And the new Supergirl is going to be written and drawn by Sophie Campbell. So that should be fun. Next, we have the other thing they announced is Mark Waid is returning to Superman over the summer with Skylar Partridge to helm Action Comics, and that's going to start on Action Comics 1087 is when they start. We are getting a 5-issue miniseries, Crypto, the Last Dog of Krypton, by Ryan North and Mike Norton. And Ryan North is the guy that's been writing Fantastic Four that I've been screaming about for 2 years now, and he's also writing the One World Under Doom mini event thing that they have going now in Marvel. So I like Ryan North, and I think Crypto's probably the good one for him to take over.
You're gonna capitalize on that Crypto appearance.
It's not the last bit of crypto news they announced too. Next, I was excited about this. They announced animated show My Adventures with Green Lantern. So this will follow high school student Jessica Cruz, who's had her life upended when a Green Lantern power ring falls from the sky and chooses Cruz to be its champion. And then things get worse when more debris from the Lantern's ancient space war arrives, along with their alien foes. I'm guessing by the title that it's going to kind of fall in line with the style of My Adventures with Superman, which has been a gem of a show. And Andrew, you really like it.
Yeah, My Adventures with Superman. They really get the character. It's terrific. It's got a very anime-inspired look to it, but that certainly isn't a detraction of it. It looks terrific. Right. It's very well done. Yeah, I can't wait for season 3.
Do you guys think you'll check out the Green Lantern one if it's from probably the same creative or in the same vein of?
Do you think it'd be like a shared? I think they're going to try to do like a shared universe thing with these My Adventure ones. That might be neat. Maybe not.
Kind of like a Brave and the Bold thing would be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Chris, does this give you any excitement at all?
DC. The funny thing is, though, is like you mentioned Spider-Man. I forget that show it exists. I don't think that they've done a ton of marketing with it. Like it doesn't even show up when I go to Disney Plus, like on a banner. So I completely forget that it exists.
They just know that you won't like it.
Yeah, that's right. They're just like, he's gonna skip this one, you know. But the Green Lantern, I don't know. You know what I mean? The Green Lantern one, their ring distribution system seems broken. You know what I mean? Like how many people? It's like, oh, this we didn't mean for Earth. You to get this one, but here you go. You know what I mean? Like when are they going to start treating all the people from Earth like none of you were picked to be here?
Well. Yeah.
Fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, what are you even doing in this part of the universe? Like treating them like trash. You know what I mean? Like, how did you get your ring? It fell out of the sky in your head. Wonderful.
So they do kind of cover that in like the newer Green Lantern run where they were just like, you know what? Earth, we're just going to cordon it off because y'all are all of the problem. We don't want anything to do with you anymore. You guys handle your business. You're in a quarantine zone. Y'all stay there. We're not getting involved anymore. And so So yeah, the Guardians
pretty great.
had enough of their shit, and they're just like, whatever, we're done, we're out. Yeah. So the next thing they announced is a Starfire animated show. And this, the little blurb on that is it follows her adventures after she uses an ancient spaceship and she discovers on her home planet of Tamarin to escape and explore the stars. Says along the way she'll meet a space biker named Crush, a plant-loving Fern, and the magical Princess Amethyst of Gemworld. And together they will
Yay.
uncover the deepest riches of the DC universe, save space dolphins, surf technicolor nebulas, and boldly soar into the unknown.
That sounds rad. I hope it doesn't look like Adventure Time.
That description is giving She-Ra vibes to me. Like that She-Ra cartoon.
Which would be fine. I liked that.
Yeah.
It sounds exciting to me, Chris.
You gotta love the but hopefully they lean a little bit into Teen Titans. You know what I mean? Because like the TV show, the live action TV show, like totally dropped their built-in audience with that, where they were like, there's nothing like those characters and nothing you liked about those characters. And so yeah, I think that's like her she's the ultimate fish out of water, right? Because she doesn't understand what the hell is going on with anything, but she's so earnest about everything.
What if it was a Teen Titans Go style Starfire?
Yeah, it's a winning.
Ryan,
you don't care for it.
I loved the Teen Titans cartoon, and I just did not like Teen Titans Go at all.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but their movie was phenomenal.
Yeah,
the movie was pretty good. They did kill the Waynes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. The next one that they announced is called DC Superpowers, and the logo actually looks like the old Super Friends logo. And this one says it takes place at the Alliance School for Heroes. Follows Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aquagirl, Green Lantern, and Terra as they attempt to level up their powers under the supervision of Principal Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Thoughts on that?
Why is Static Shock not in that group? He seems like that he's missing.
I'd agree with that.
They're a little late to the Harry Potter for superheroes game. We'll see. But you know what? Like anything to replace Harry Potter would be nice. You know what I mean? Like have it be a huge success, and then everybody can be on that one. Have a non-problematic creator, and we're just into this now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Marvel can step up with a Strange Academy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a winning formula for a reason, you know.
Okay, next, I told you there was more crypto. So there's going to be a set of seasonal shorts. DC Studios co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran have revealed that they're working on 4 seasonal Crypto the Superdog short set in the DCU, with the first set to drop this September-October timeframe. And Gunn said, we've got these cool little crypto shorts that are so fun. I've been watching all of them. Said he's a terrible, terrible dog. He said it's for families and it's just really fun and goofy and pretty cool. And then Safran added, it's definitely the crypto you'll fall in love with in Superman. And yeah, he is a terrible dog. So
no, good dog.
The best boy. But yeah, I mean, that could be fun. It rings of kind of those Groot, the little mini Groot specials that they dropped on Disney Plus. So it does it. And those were all James Gunn things. And those were delightful. Watch those with my son. He loved them. So yeah, probably jump in on those. Does that sound like something you guys would?
I love everything crypto. So yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, like we haven't gotten a lot out of this new universe yet, so we'll take a look, right? See how it is.
Right. And well, speaking of the new universe, they kind of dropped what their 6-year plan is for the DC studios. So what they said is they're going to be doing 2 live action movies per year, 1 animated movie per year, and then 2 live action shows and 2 animated shows per year. And then it's going to run for 6 years, and it's going to culminate in an Endgame style movie where it's kind of bringing everything together. So it's kind of like what Marvel did in the first 10 years, but they're doing it slightly sped up in like a 6-year plan. What do you guys think of that plan?
Seems a manageable schedule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm glad that they still have the animated movies listed because those were my favorite.
I
And
feel
I-
like
DC
they've
kills it.
announced more
Mhm.
than this though
Already?
already.
Yeah, well, it just depends on when they release them. They could have announced them, and then that TV show comes out during this year, this block, and this animated show is coming out during this block. But
Do these live action movies, do the Matt Reeves Batman movies count in those?
I don't know. I think that this was from James Gunn, so I'm guessing it's just his the
Okay.
larger universe. But yeah, no, I think I do. I think it's manageable, and it's across different mediums too, like between being on the live actions and the animated shows being on Max, and probably the animated movie might kind of do a double premiere is kind of what I would think. Like what's you could go see it in the theaters or you can watch it at home.
Is that what they're doing, you said?
It's something that I have heard tossed around,
Oh.
but for an animated movie, I could see it. I could see that working better than a live action movie. Chris, what do you think?
Hey, well, you know what I mean? Like DC is and Warner Brothers are the people to ruin it but so far so good, you know what I mean? It's going to depend on those early movie numbers, right? If they sit there and they say, "All right, Gunn, did this work out or not?" You know what I mean? And are you making money? If things come in under budget and on time and make money, all this will go fine. If it doesn't, it'll get thrown in the trash, right?
Right.
But does seem like it's not like they're not shooting for oversaturation, right? Which has been like the complaint from people, which I think is wrong. You know what I mean? Like if there was 8 really good super movies coming out a year, I don't know that anyone would care because if they were good, they just don't want crappy ones, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like
yeah,
the Kevin Feige ones started like slipping when he couldn't pay attention to each one. Right. The hand that was the controlling hand that was like this is what's important, this is what isn't, to say what was important on that stuff and to put that together. So we'll see if he's up for it.
He did also say that in those he will be bringing over characters that premiere in the animated space that will show up live action further down the road. So he used Creature Commandos as an example. He said you'll see at least some of them later on in a live action capacity. So I think having that dimension to it, like being able to put characters in your animated show to then bring onto a live action later instead of having each of them have their own standalone movie to get put into their big end movie thing. I think that's a pretty good idea. So
And we nerds love that. I mean, seriously, like bring over my characters that I like from other things. Do it.
Yeah, that's Star Wars with Ahsoka. With all the characters from Rebels, I was like, yes, I love this so much. All right. So now we get a little bit of Marvel news. This is actually Marvel DC news. At Comics Pro this week, the DC editor-in-chief and Marvel editor-in-chief Marie Javins and CB Cebulski announced that they will be doing some crossover comics later this year in forms of like 1 and 2 shots. There weren't very many details revealed at this time, but I had a question for you. What are some of your guys' favorite Marvel DC crossovers from the past?
The Amalgam comics.
Mm.
Dark Claw.
When they mixed them together, yeah. Magnet Man and Bat Thing and all that. Yeah, it was all like Lobo the Duck.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one, but now I need to look it up.
The original Spider-Man Superman crossover.
I remember that
because it was the first time that they did something like that, and I like how they got around it, where they just in that comic, New York and Metropolis, like Marvel's New York and Metropolis, just exist in the same universe. They were just like, oh, there's no like portal or time travel machine or anything like that, because they weren't worried about that stuff. They were just like, oh, you operate out of Metropolis, I operate out of New York. We just have never happened to meet each other. And so, yeah, like I said, they did that. It was the first time, and so that was mind blowing at the time. And I'm such a sucker for crossovers.
Yeah. The Superman Spider-Man one was up there for me. I remember the Daredevil Batman ones were fun. Wilson Fisk and the Scarecrow, I think it was, or the Joker, were working together, so they both had to stop crime. Those ones were fun. Ryan, did you have one?
The one that immediately popped into mind was the the X-Men and the Teen Titans. Because I like both of those things a lot. And then the other one that I really liked, because it's one of my favorite, two of my favorite bad guys, is I remember there's a Darkseid and Galactus one, where Galactus shows up to Apocalypse and's like, well, this planet looks delicious. and then wackiness ensues. And yeah, I remember really liking that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of ones like character crossovers that might be fun in like the ones that they're gonna do now. I think either a Wonder Woman Captain Marvel, or Captain Marvel Supergirl would be fun.
Spider-Man Damian Robin. Spider-Boy Damian Wayne crossover.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Yeah. I mean, Justice League Avengers is always a, easy one to do. But yeah, no, I think that, Chris, that one would be really good. Because Spider-Boy's been fun.
Ultimate Spider-Man and Absolute Batman crossover.
Jesus.
The splendacular Spider Batman.
Ultimately absolute.
Absolute. That's what I was gonna say. Ultimately absolute.
And it's sponsored by Absolute Vodka, so he's just drunk the whole time.
He's just slamming shots.
Yeah.
Well,
so you've had too much to drink. You can't fight crime. Fuck you, Alfred. You're not my dad.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah. We got a pitch for DC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolute Batman. Fucking drunk.
Absolute TM, because it's the vodka logo.
Yeah. The contract stipulates there has to be a bottle of vodka on every panel, so someone's drinking it.
He's just confiscating the alcohol from the children and drinking it so they don't.
No, he distributes it to the children. Why can't the children have alcohol? All these bureaucrats in Washington don't want the kids to know.
Yeah, it's the
delicious
whole
taste of Absolute Vodka.
Yeah.
His Batmobile is like the Absolute Vodka party van. And he's got the logo instead of the bat signal.
Yeah. And the song plays when he drives up. The Venga bus is coming, and Batman has some vodka. Don't drink it all, you children. Leave some for your buddy. Yeah, like I don't know. This writes itself, man. Like it's like I don't even feel. I feel like I'm channeling this from somewhere.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh man. Oh yeah, I'm into that. I can't top that, so we're just gonna move on. All right, so the Marvel TV execs confirm we're getting more Moon Knight, but not in a season 2. And the quote was, so I think Marvel television has happened in waves, and I think Moon Knight happened in a wave of shows that were going to establish characters that would tie in the future. He said, moving forward, our priorities have shifted. We're making shows as shows that can exist as annual releases, more like TV. He said, I'd love to see Moon Knight in season 2, but there are no plans for Moon Knight until down the road. I think that's smart, especially with Oscar Isaac being a busy person and being in a bunch of the movies, trying to tie him down to another, 6 to 10 episode season is going to be, if you're trying to do annual releases, it's just not going to work. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Where would you like to see Moon Knight like down the road in the Marvel stuff?
The moon haunts you. That's the only thing that keeps popping in my head now that we're talking about.
I just want to hear him say go random bullshit and
Yes.
throw things like
You-
that.
That's not actually from the comics.
True. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. But or maybe just do an off panel thing like Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire did when they all pointed at each other like the Spider-Man meme. I'll take it. And I did.
Is he on
Speaking of that,
Cameo? I bet you could get him to do it then.
I went down this like Reddit rabbit hole. There is an entire Reddit page of people just making like the fake Moon Knight quotes from classic comic panels, and it's pretty damn funny. And he's usually asking people where his money's at.
Where his money is, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is supposed to be a Luke Cage quote, fake quote.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it is pretty funny.
Luke Cage does go to Latveria when they owe him money.
Hey, pay the man. Just pay the man. It's no problem. Yeah. So we got a new creative team for Captain America. I talked about Matt Fraction earlier. Now we have Chip Zdarsky, he's coming over from Batman. He just finished his Detective Comics run, and he's going to be joined with Valerio Schiti and Frank D'Armata. I probably murdered those. I apologize, but I don't think I've read something Chip Zdarsky that I haven't liked. So cool. Let's do Captain America. And I did see some concept art where they're bringing back not bringing back, it's a new iteration of the Howling Commandos that are working with him, and they're kind of like, just a new military unit that they're little like meched up, and they've got some cool looking armor. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. What do you guys think?
They should fight the Howling Commandos. That was the all monster team led by a
Weren't they-
werewolf.
Yeah, wasn't Cap Wolf involved in that?
I don't think he was,
Mhm.
but it was led by Dum Dum Duggan, I think.
They had a Cap Wolf thing in it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's something about World War II that werewolves just kind of fit into it for some reason.
Yeah. You're in a spooky forest, and you're in the Black Forest in Germany. Put a werewolf there.
Mhm.
It's their natural habitat. Okay. All right. I found another list, because you know how I love my lists. Said 10 DC characters who deserve their live action debut in James Gunn's DCU. So
Question.
Go ahead.
So I interpret the words live action debut meaning that they've never been in live action before. and many people on this list have been in live action before.
So in James Gunn's DCU. So
Oh.
their debut in his universe.
Okay.
So in this upcoming
Characters
stuff.
we want to see in James Gunn's DC universe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so first on the list I have Brainiac.
Which version of Brainiac are we hoping to see?
Yes.
Five.
Like the 80s. Oh, Brainiac 5 would be fun. But
Yeah.
the like the George Perez all robot 80s version is fun. I like it before compared to the the Jeff Johns era where he's like just got a big thick neck, but he's still like a green dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I prefer a more robot looking.
You're like, not that.
Not that.
How many tentacles do you want him to have?
Plenty.
Chris, you got it. How do you feel about Brainiac?
Yeah, this is DC characters.
Yep.
Here.
Okay. All right.
Brainiac.
All right.
The one that slaps his head and takes over Lex Luthor's body, turns him into a zombie in the Whatever Happened to Man of Tomorrow, because that's the most horrifying one I've ever seen. It's like, I've taken over your body. Oh God! And it's just his head on top of Lex Luthor's.
What happens when Alan Moore writes Superman?
Crazy bog wizard. Here, write Superman. All right, next we have Darkseid, which I feel is like
probably eventually.
That's what's going to happen at the end of 6 years, probably.
I really hope they don't look like they do in the Snyderverse stuff. I really didn't like the way the New Gods looked.
Mm-hmm. I really want to see Darkseid's laser lightning beam eyes in live action. Yeah. I want to see that in live action.
You think if Cyclops ever saw that, he'd be like, "Wait, what? I want to do that." Just tracking optic blast. All right. Next, we have Maxima.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite character, right? Everybody's.
Does Maxima have a boob window?
She has cleavage and a tummy window.
Oh, a tummy window. I can't remember.
Yeah. She wears a green bathing suit looking thing with shoulder pads. But she's an alien from the planet Almerac, where she's the queen, but she's got a bunch of superpowers and
doesn't she try to marry Superman?
Among others, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of her shtick.
Okay, next we have the Monitor.
Like a screen?
Yes. But it keeps disconnecting for
It's
some
very
unknown
scary.
reason.
No input found. Superman sitting there freaking out, like, how am I supposed to save the world? Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, does anybody know what no input means?
See, the
You
Monitor
have
versus
to push the power button before it falls to sleep, Superman, or else the monitor turns off. And you can't have the inevitable introduction of the anti-monitor if you don't have the monitor.
So the surprise is it's Crypto that just keeps unplugging it so they can put more crypto in Superman.
There you go.
Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. No, my nemesis, the Monitor.
There is an old like Golden Age comic book that I need to go find again. It was a Western comic book where it was a cowboy and his really smart horse. And the horse was sitting there, and it was obvious that as the run of the comic continued, the horse was the more popular character, because eventually the cowboy disappeared and just the horse stayed and solved mysteries on its own. You know what I mean?
The horse was Sherlock and the cowboy was Watson.
It's amazing. It was the funniest thing, because I was reading through it, and then finally I'm like, you only have Dusty Dusty the cowboy's gone, and you only have Silvermane here, like whatever his name was. I got to go find it because this actually exists. But that feels like that's going to be like nobody's going to remember Superman in 20 years, because it's just going to be the old superhero that used to own crypto, the most famous superhero in the world.
Pretty soon it'll be Crypto featuring Booster Gold.
Yeah.
Um,
They'll eventually lose Superman. It'll just be Crypto.
Crypto versus Batman in the Dark Knight
Yes.
Returns. Oh, we're just giving them great ideas.
I know.
So next we have the Ultra Humanite.
As opposed to the standard humanite.
Standard Humanite.
Mhm. Ultra Omega Humanite.
Yeah, he was Superman's first reoccurring villain
Oh yeah.
from the Golden
Oh.
Age. Yeah, he was a mad scientist that could transfer his brain into other bodies.
Okay. So that's back with like more crazy scientist Lex Luthor era.
Pre-Lex Luthor.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. All right. That could be fun. Next, Phantom Stranger.
Yeah, he was always kind of at the peripheral of the Justice League.
Ryan, what?
I can't. I just can't. I can't ever with that name.
You don't like that guy?
I don't like his. I don't. His name is the same as the name of something else.
What?
You go
What
look
is
up
it the name
on
of?
Urban Dictionary
Yeah.
Wow.
later on.
Oh,
Makes me
wait,
giggle.
what? No
You're like,
way.
You're like, I'm 12.
But you put him, you take the Phantom Stranger, the Question, and Rorschach and put them in a room, and then you don't know which one is which when they come back out. They're like, which one of you three is the
Oh,
real?
that's funny.
same guy?
I think I'd like to see. Now that you mention that, I think I'd like to see the Question more than the Phantom Stranger.
I would rather see the Question than anyone else you just named.
So next we have Our Man. And that's some Earth 2 shenanigans, right, Andrew?
Oh, he
Yeah,
has to
he's
come
a
with the Earth 2
Golden.
Superman?
He's a Golden Age character. He takes a pill that gives him superpowers for an hour. Super strength, endurance. that sort of stuff.
Methamphetamines.
Yeah, just does it. Just bumps a huge rail and then goes and fights crime for an hour.
There's an episode in the middle of the season where it actually shows reality, and it's just him gored out of his mind. It's like, I'm fighting giants. Oh, that's great, man.
Punching
actually-
a tree in the backyard.
I love this character as an idea for I think it's a perfect setup for a TV show. He only has superpowers for an hour, you know what I mean? And so what are you going to do with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be fun. Next we have a Legion of superheroes.
The Legion of the Superheroes.
Legion of superheroes.
with Brainiac 5.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah. I think they'd work better as their own like TV show because it's a lot to introduce in someone else's thing.
I'd agree with that.
Like an entire team in a post-credit scene.
Yeah, that would be fun. Be like, hey, look, we're teenagers from the future or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. Like maybe their own thing, maybe appearing in a TV series.
Behold our miracle machine.
Yeah, and they can travel backwards in time, but not
Mhm.
forwards or whatever.
The Legion of Superheroes is to comic books what LaCroix is to sodas.
Jesus, really? Man,
There's the
do you
people
have
who
any love in your heart left, Chris?
the people who like it love it. The people who like it love it and will grab it and take it every time. And the people who don't like it don't understand what the fuck is so great.
Oh god,
I do not like
Chris
LaCroix, but I have my
Chris
Legionary.
Chris turns his camera off and says whatever he wants. This is great. This is great. Oh man. The anonymity of Michelangelo the Ninja Turtle gives him superpowers.
Cowabunga, man.
All right. Next on the list, we have Wally West.
We had Wally on the Flash TV show
Mhm.
and in Justice League Unlimited. and normal Justice League,
Mhm.
and presumably Superman the animated series. So what the hell are they talking about?
Well, again, in James Gunn's, what if they just introduce the Flash as Wally West and don't do Barry Allen?
Are we no
at all?
Barry?
I would be fine with that. I don't know why they brought Barry back at all. Because at that point, Wally had been the Flash just as long or longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like they got rid of Spider-Man's marriage. Why?
Mhm.
At that point, he'd been married as long as he hadn't been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Hey.
understand.
What about just Bart?
Just Bart.
Just Bart. And he like refers to the previous Flash occasionally.
I don't know. I think Wally would be a good way to just do like, here's the Flash. Don't ask questions. It's the Flash. All right, and then we have Nightwing.
Again, many appearances across many media. Yeah, great list. Sorry.
Yes.
You found this somewhere, I hope?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
good.
I did. I
No,
did
this
not
was
come up with
Luke's
this list.
truest heart's desire.
Yeah, he's sitting there crying.
Yep. I'm masking my tears with laughter.
Literally his list of favorite characters.
You know who
God.
sucks? Yeah.
I love the Monitor. God.
You know who we're sick of?
I've got a better not show the Monitor tattoo I have across my chest.
That's the last bullet point on the list here. Show everybody my Monitor tattoo.
Strikes out in show notes. So do you guys have any like maybe another one that you would put on the list, someone that you would like to see in the James Gunn DCU?
Animal, vegetable, mineral man.
Solid.
And I like my odds.
Yeah, with James Gunn, it's pretty up there.
Yeah. Any cameos from the Doom Patrol would be cool.
Yeah.
Hitting to the 90s. Let's see, Ray,
Mm-hmm.
Damage, and Firebrand.
No.
Okay.
Who's Firebrand?
He was the Sal Valuto character he worked on for DC. Had like 6 issues and
'Cause
never
there
was
a
seen again.
Golden Age one. I'm not familiar with Sal's.
Yeah, he looks kind of like if the people who designed the Michael Bay Transformers had tried to design Ghost Rider.
What?
Okay.
He has like a purple costume with spiky bits all over the place and half a black skull that's on fire.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
because maybe
Okay.
Sal would get some. Like he wouldn't
Yeah.
because that's when the contracts didn't even. They were like, "Ah, you're lucky to work here, pal." But maybe he'd get some money from that because he's co-creator.
Yeah. Ryan, you have anyone?
I'm thinking like Zatanna would be really cool.
Agreed.
I think like Deadman might be really fun. Spectre.
I could-
I don't know. I kinda like
Ooh,
those.
yeah.
Maybe some supernatural stuff. I guess I'm in the mood for some supernatural ones.
See, yeah, my addition was I know they did the TV show, but Swamp Thing, like just and I watched that whole show. I was like, it's not.
It
wasn't
had good
bad.
parts. I watched that whole show too. It had a strong start and then fizzled out.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Etrigan.
I'd show out for Swamp Thing.
Yeah, because they lost all of their money in the first couple episodes of that.
Oh, they've lost
of
all
that
their money
series.
every time they do anything with Swamp Thing. He's had 2 cartoons. He's had 3 TV shows,
TV
a couple
shows,
of movies. You know what I mean? Like maybe we just need to accept that nobody gives a shit about Swamp Thing. You know what I mean? Like they've
My heart
really,
every time, Chris.
they've really tried.
all night.
I
Do
like
not
him
show
too.
Swamp
Is the
Thing
thing.
tattoo? Ugh.
But how many movies do you need to try and be like, just one more, fellas? We're gonna get him up there one more time, and this will be the one. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's other characters. I think DC has more than 5 characters.
Do they?
There's more characters than the Legion. Pick a couple of. What's the guy that eats his own arm?
No, there's Matter Eater Lad and
Yeah,
Arm
Matter
Fall
Eater
Off
Lad.
Boy.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
different characters.
yes.
Oh, yeah, the arm fall off. Yeah.
They updated him.
To
There's no
detachable
way.
arm kid.
Yeah, there's no way that wasn't just like, well, this character doesn't work like this, but it's hilarious here. That's a good update. You can keep the name so that everybody who likes the show can get into it, and then they can go read the old comics. See,
Yeah.
I'm trying to see
Yeah.
here. I'm trying to bring people into the Legion.
I don't believe you.
Okay. So before we dive into this, how many of you have seen Captain America: Brave New World?
I did.
I
Okay,
have
so-
I'm glad you prefaced that with Captain America instead of just
Yes.
saying Strange New Worlds.
But I said Brave New World.
Oh, did you?
I did. We can tell Ryan is jonesing for some Star Trek. So he's like, New World, New World, Star Trek, Strange New World, Star Trek. It's not there. You lied to me.
I'm looking at Paramount Plus right now. Look, it's not out.
So, Chris, we'll start with you. How did you feel about Captain America: Brave New World?
It wasn't bad. Like in the grand scheme of looking at superhero movies and stuff, and where we've been and where we're going, where we are, it wasn't bad. Quite liked good things about it. I think it's amazing that they moved over to having Sam being Captain America, because when there were the initial suggestions of Captain America being played by Will Smith, that about broke the internet. And so the fact that they just through the course of storytelling moved it over to being Sam and everything, and the world didn't end. You know what I mean? That's pretty great. I think a masterful job of them doing that. I think I liked. Spoiler alerts here for anybody who wants them. Right? I think it was cool to the way they brought back the villain. We've been waiting for him to come back for forever, and I love the actor, so he can do this all day long. You know what I mean? I love that character. So overall, I thought that had plenty of action beats. It follows almost the exact formula of like the second Captain America movie.
Yep.
There's almost all the exact same story beats. There's the secret assassination. There's the going to an old bunker to find information. You know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of the same story beats there. And so pretty good and cool cast. I thought Harrison Ford was super cool. So on the bad side of things, where the stuff starts piling up, where you're like, okay, well, I can see why this movie was an issue. The special effects, you can tell they're still just scraping the bottom of the barrel with the lowest contractor to make the special effects, because they don't look great.
There was a couple of times where it was just a still shot and Sam was talking, and I was like, why does that look like a Zoom meeting background behind it?
Yeah. So many people obviously on like really bad green screens and not there at the same time because they're not looking at each other. Obviously. I think they spent more time explaining why General Ross didn't have a mustache anymore
than needed.
Yeah. It really was.
It could have been one line. It could have been one line, and that's it.
Yes, it could have been it. And then I feel like it's funny that they're so cavalier about replacing some people, where they're just like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's you know, and now, and some people they just won't. Where it's like, you could get someone else and just start calling them that. That's how movies work. You know what I mean? Like, how many different James Bonds did we have?
Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle. They did it perfectly.
Yeah. They did it the best way possible that you ever could. And it feels like they just set the precedent, and you could have just done that. And it could have been called like the Marvel swap. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been like Marvel does this in their movies. They just swap out the actor, you know what I mean? And put in a new person. Nope. And the audience doesn't care. You know what I mean? And nobody cares about that. But yeah, like I said, those are the types of things, but they kept adding little things like that. You know what I mean? And I swear it was the most disappointing after credit scene I've ever seen in a Marvel movie. It was, why have it?
Yeah.
That's supposed to make you excited for a new character or for how this is going to tie into something else. You know what I mean? Even if they drop the thread, like they completely dropped the thread from the one that's after Shang-Chi, they were like, I don't even care about this anymore. You know what I mean? But at the very least, you were sitting there like, oh, you brought someone else into the universe and some other reason. You at least spun up a thread so that you can pull on it later for a story. But this one, it was like, this has to be the dumbest, most poorly thought out one that you've ever done.
I don't know what the after credit sequence is.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, we're in spoiler territory, so go ahead.
Yeah, so it's just Sam out of costume goes and talks to the leader, and he's like,
oh yeah,
and the leader's like, I've seen every possible, and I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that. Like the reason he was super smart is that he could see all of the probabilities, except for he's been able to see all the probabilities in everything except for his master plan. Come on, man. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to complain about was the Black Widow that was Frau Verbissener. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Are you serious? Like, who is this? But anyway, the leader, he just comes in and he's like, I've seen every possible outcome and I can't wait for you to, I don't think you can fight all of the others that are coming. And then it like slow zooms on Sam and that's it.
Oh, that sucks.
It was super dumb. It wasn't clever like the Captain America one, you know, where it's like, hey, take off drugs, kids, you know, or why are you still here? It like pointing out the fact that it's a disappointing after credit scene. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. I'll start out with my nitpicks on it. After seeing the original character design that they had for the leader and then what we got on screen, I was like, it just gave me flashbacks of Green Lantern when they had yeah, I was just like to the point where they have Funko Pops already made of the leader. Like they went back and did reshoots and they went to that. Like he just had a big forehead. He had like a big head and he had hair and a goatee. And I was like, that looks like the leader. But then they
needed to change that
brain thing. And I'm like, oh, what are we doing?
They're both terrible designs, but the one way they went with is infinitely better. This I just go look at this.
I would have preferred something that looks more. I don't like the broccoli head creepy monster eye thing. And I think that's also where I saw a lot of because that was all done in reshoots. A lot of the patched together green screen stuff was in that. But going to like the towards the stuff I did like, I thought again, Anthony Mackie did great. Harrison Ford was at an 11 in this. He was chewing every scene he was in. And then we had the new Falcon. I loved the interaction between Sam and him and Isaiah. That was it. It reminded me so much of when I was in the Navy, just how coworkers and friends would talk to each other. It was exactly how those guys were talking to each other. So I was having a little bit of flashbacks and just remembering times that, you know, I was in conversations just like that. So they nailed that. We had the I started calling it the Cap Cave, the little place that they went to. And I was like, oh, Cap's got his own bunker. I've never seen this before. I've never seen the Cap Cave before. But I really liked the Serpent Society. I wish they would have done more with that, but it's definitely a thing that they can definitely do more later with.
Because we had Cottonmouth from Luke Cage, yeah.
That was a
Is he
different
still alive?
Cottonmouth.
Oh, it was?
Yes, the Cottonmouth in Luke Cage was a Luke Cage character. His brother is a member of the Serpent Society and has
Ooh.
like a mouth that can extend and gets big like fangs.
Hmm.
I forget. Was Diamondback part of the Serpent Society too?
Yes, with the pink costume.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's a ton that they can do there. And that's really what felt like you were talking about kind of the same notes from Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
Like Serpent Society was really hitting that Hydra,
Mhm.
kind of how Hydra was. So that
Yeah.
the similarities there. But I thought it was great. I was kind of going into it expecting it to kind of be like a spy political thriller, like Winter Soldier was, and that's kind of what it was.
If you're going to copy somebody's
monster.
homework, copy the smart kid. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
copy the good movie for sure.
Mhm.
You do have to change your homework enough, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the fact that the whole
They
thing was
put a
like
monster in it, though.
they did.
They
They
put a
did.
big red monster. That's different enough, right?
No, it was good. Yes, I get yes, but it was like, oh, we're back to mind control. This is exactly what you did 2 movies ago. Because is there any other way to pull off a master scheme? You know what I mean? But it was like also, how old is that? How old is Winter Soldier? So I mean, talking about a 10-year-old movie, 10? Cross my fingers. Is it 10 years old or more?
I think so.
So, but yeah, being like, they just copied this 10-year-old movie.
So another thing that I really like, again, I thought the actor who played Isaiah Bradley did fantastic, just like he did in Falcon and Winter Soldier. The part where he's getting arrested and he's telling him to watch his suit, I'm just like,
And when he says that, he looks at Sam and he's like, I can't go back. And I was like, that guy needs an award. Like he is such a good actor.
Even at the end when he's like, nah. And when Falcon's trying to joke with him and he's like, I'm just kidding. Like just the little things like that, where again, Harrison Ford is like he is chewing up every scene. This guy was every scene was very subdued, but it was like powerfully subdued. Also, it was fun to watch him just punch a punching bag off the chains into the wall. Like, yeah, I'm a super soldier too. And I did like the Bucky cameo. When he came in and he was like, your speechwriters write that? And he's like, yeah, it was pretty good, right? It's just, but then when he walked out and he's like, I love you, bro. And like, I was like, this is great. Those two have like amazing chemistry on scene or on screen. So I was happy that they snuck that one in there.
It is really cool. We need to the giving Sam a speech that he deserves the shield is getting to be like the pearls in Crime Alley and
Martha.
Like, yes. And like Alfred trying to force feed Batman a sandwich when he's working on the computer. It's like, it's enough. He's Captain America now. He doesn't have to learn that every single show. He's Captain America.
Yep. I did also like the lines. I should have taken the damn serum. Bucky was full of shit.
Yes.
I did like that part.
Yeah.
Ryan.
So I have a question about the Bucky scene. I don't remember Winter Soldier running for office in the comics. Is that a thing that happened?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he would in the comics because he was a assassin for decades, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming it has
one too.
Yeah, I'm assuming it has something to do with Thunderbolts and
sure. And then I'm like, how is he gonna live like a double life as a congressman, senator? What was he running for? And then also part of the Thunderbolts.
Crime. Yeah, right.
I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. But so I was like, that was interesting. The Isaiah Bradley was my favorite part of this movie. I just loved every scene that he was in. Baby Falcon was also really good. I enjoyed him. I'm excited to see him part of this Young Avengers team that I hope that they're making. And they kind of hinted at that with Sam saying as he's going to restart the Avengers. So I liked that. The when we first see the leader in Shadows, I leaned over to my boyfriend and I'm like, we probably should have watched the original Hulk movie before this movie. Because who's going to remember that from 20 years ago? Yeah, but he also looked weird. He looked very scrotum head, and I didn't like it. My biggest so I liked the movie. Was it a groundbreaking piece of cinema? No, but was I entertained? Yes, I was. The thing that pissed me off the most is that I went. So Regal Theater had a promotion that had to do with Marvel Rivals. That if you went to Regal Theater and watched it, you got a code for a secret skin and some other stuff. And they heavily alluded, in my opinion, that the secret skin was going to be Red Hulk, a Red Hulk skin for the Hulk. So I was very excited. So after the promotion's going on, the promotion ends, movie comes out, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's not going to be a Red Hulk skin. And we decided not to tell you that or quash these rumors until after everything was sold. It's just going to be another skin that's already in the game that you could have already purchased. And if you have already purchased it, you don't get anything.
Oh, boo.
Which skin was it?
It was Winter Soldier's skin that I forget I forget its name, but it's Bucky with like a top knot and he kind of looks like
the Revolution.
Yeah. I don't like this skin and it's dumb. And I was mad.
Yeah.
Because the only
Ryan.
Regal Theater in Salt Lake the only Regal Theater in Utah is in Taylorsville. So I went to Taylorsville for this movie for something that was dumb. And I was mad.
Adamantium.
Yeah.
How was that?
I was super excited. I was excited they finally mentioned the Celestial that they never talked about again since the
5 years later.
And yeah, I'm excited that adamantium's in the world. I think it's interesting that adamantium's a alien metal now. That's cool. What that means and where that's going to go. I'm excited to see what they do with that.
My favorite part is you had was Japan, America, India, and France fighting for the rights to mine the adamantium. Like, suckers, Canada gets it.
That should have been in there.
They come in and swipe it. They're the ones who hired the Serpent Society. It was the Canadians the whole time.
Let's think about it. So where is the Celestial?
I thought it was in the Pacific somewhere.
Is it possible the toe of the Celestial could poke out somewhere in Canada?
Maybe under the ice.
Yeah.
and that's where they build the underground bunker where they can directly mine the adamantium.
Yes.
See, we're just full of great ideas today. This is a great idea.
It's really not a bad idea for Canada for like the Weapon X program to be like all these people fighting about it and we took it. Hey.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we took all the adamantium, man. We're gonna make a super maple syrup dispenser.
And
now nerds can shut up. They did something with the Celestial. Shut up. It's just sitting in the ocean.
They're just gonna mine it away. They're just gonna mine the whole thing back under the ocean and literally sweep it under the rug.
Yeah. Like the next movie, it's just like a nub.
right. Yeah. Celestial archipelago. That's all that's there. What about the one thing that I was happy that they included was Liv Tyler's cameo?
Yeah.
I was like, are they gonna do it?
They did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because what should have happened, how it should have ended, is that Liv Tyler should have been the one that talks him down in the cherry tree forest. Cherry blossom forest. I'm like,
yes,
what
that
the hell?
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. That is 100%. I'm with you. I'm wondering if they didn't even have her on set, like it's an actress with a green mask on,
Mm,
and they projected her face onto it because it was like, you don't look like you look like you phoned this in on Zoom.
yeah.
She looked
Yeah.
weird,
I was,
right?
yeah. Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Was it CG her, or was the everything around it just made it look weird?
Yes. Did
So
they AI
another
her from like, they were like, well, she wouldn't come on set, so we're just going to take all the footage from that she had from the original movie, put it into a machine, and then just type out what she's supposed to say.
the theater that I went to, I didn't know screen nomenclature, so I chose like the fancy named screen, thinking it was just like the big screen or an IMAX or whatever. No, it was very gimmicky. So the theater that I saw it at projected on the side of the walls, so it was very stretched out,
Mm.
and so many parts of the movie were just blurry anyway. I did not notice any of these things that you guys are talking about because I was so distracted by the wall projections, and then the movie wasn't aspect ratioed that way, so they just stretched it out. So it's like abnormally zoomed in on the front screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Okay.
was. It made the whole thing look weird. So I didn't notice any of these interesting qualities that you guys are mentioning.
I wondered if I was watching a 3D version with no 3D glasses.
So,
I really
so
did.
I just looked it up. No, that was actually her on set. They did
Was it?
not. Yeah, I had to confirm because I thought the same thing. I was like, I don't know, but I couldn't tell if it was the effects around her
Mm.
that were making it look weird or if it was her face that they had done. But yeah, I like that too. I was hoping for that moment the whole time, and I was like, I really hope it's just not the phone call that he had. But even
That would have saved the
I was
movie.
like,
It would have really saved it if it would have been like, hey, you built up to this, and then she was there, like you said, and you have the Black Widow style, like talk him down.
Yeah.
And that would have been the deal.
Mm.
And then my after credit scene would have been showing that it wasn't actually her. It was like the leader with like an LMD or like a holographic projection. And he would have been like, now I know how to control you. You know what I mean? Like something, you know what I mean? But yeah, there was like two huge, agree with you 100%, Ryan. It was like, that would have been the ending we wanted.
Mm-hmm. I did think that the CG of like the backgrounds and stuff I thought were kind of iffy, but the Hulk looked really good.
Hmm.
It was very much like Avengers Hulk, because like Hulk has been in like, especially in Endgame where he's smart Hulk, like the features have kind of like softened a little bit. He looks a lot more like Mark Ruffalo than a big angry monster, but I think they did, like, if you had to pick on your budget of make it look like a Zoom meeting background or focus on the Red Hulk, I think they chose correctly to focus on the Red Hulk, but also, I feel
it looked like
the exact
Harrison
same-
Ford, like a Hulk. Like, yeah, you're right. It looked really good.
Yeah, like that, like the chest hair and like the arm hair and stuff was still there. It didn't just magically like go away. I have seen people, again online, like, why didn't his pants rip off?
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't have any special pants.
I've read a lot about that.
And I was like, nobody.
They
Comic book.
They
Yeah.
wanted the red. They wanted to see the Red Hulk.
He actually
Oh,
hit
man.
Sam with it a couple of times.
Yeah,
Whack.
yeah.
Breaks
he's
the
running
wings
around.
off,
Yeah.
knocking cherry blossom trees down as he's running. Yep, just full out sprint.
What was the Watchmen?
Oh, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Yep.
So
he ain't knocking anybody out with that, with what he's packing.
yeah, I IMDb
Judgment.
the dude
Because
that
same fam, you know what I mean? But yeah, he's not knocking anybody over.
I IMDb the dude that plays Isaiah. His name is Carl Lumbee, and he is the voice of Martian Manhunter on almost every animated thing. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, any last thoughts before we talk about what we've been reading and wrap this shindig up? No? Cool. All right. So I have two things I want to talk about. I read the whole Peter David Scarlet Spider run from 2017. It was about 25 issues. And it was interesting. Like it was after Ben had become the Jackal and done more cloning and stuff like that when he just went crazy. But it's him trying to come back to being a hero. The whole thing takes place in Las Vegas, which is a different, scene for a lot of superhero comics. But basically, he's trying. There's a little girl that he's trying to cure. And Kane Parker, the other Scarlet Spider, is trying to kill Ben for what he did when he was the Jackal. They kind of come to an understanding. He's like, you can kill me after I save this kid. There is a really interesting conversation between Ben Reilly and Death, because Death shows up and she says, you have died more than anybody in the universe. That you have died, because when he was he just kept being died and then recloned and brought back and died and brought back. And she showed that
the same person or new iterations. I would consider her a clone unless
so they go into that they say that when he dies, his soul is supposed to come to, and it's like portrayed as like these little white orbs. And when you die, your soul comes here. And even if you're cloned, when you come back, you get it's a new soul. It's a new person. He said for some reason, Ben's keeps going back and his orb is all like black and cracked and just messed up. And she basically says, okay, you can repair this by being good and by doing good. But if you die again and are brought back, then there's going to be some consequences. It's basically leading to him being Chasm and being a bad guy later on. But he dies saving the girl. So he's like, cool, I'm dead, don't bring me back. And then they bring him back, and you can just see like it's very Norman Osborn Green Goblin. Like he doesn't want to do these things, but he can't help himself. So overall it was pretty good. Like I like Ben Reilly when he's written well. In this one, it's Peter David. He's a good writer. So it was interesting. Again, I read all 25 issues over the weekend. I just wish they could get him back to kind of just like Miles or Gwen. Just, he's Scarlet Spider. He's just doing his own thing. You don't need to turn him into a bad guy anymore. You don't need to take away his morals. You can just have another Spider-Man that's maybe on the West Coast that does just Spider-Man stuff in LA. You don't need to just like knock the guy at every turn. But overall, I really liked it. And if you like Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, you should check it out. The other thing I read was Marvel Knights, the 20th anniversary trade. Who did this one? Donnie Cates did this one, and Teenie Howard. And it is set. It starts out with a lot of the heroes don't know who they are. And so you get a lot of fun interactions between characters. Like Matt Murdock, it starts out Matt Murdock is at Karen Page's grave and he doesn't understand why. He's like, I don't know this person. I don't know why I'm here. And then like Detective Frank Castle shows up and he said, hey, this guy came and told me that I needed to find you and that you're not who you're supposed to be. And it kind of goes along that lines, and it's given people like reasons to remember, like so it's Daredevil, Elektra, Bruce Banner, Punisher, and Black Panther are the characters that are in this. It's really good. It does like the style of the drawing and just the stories are very Marvel Knights era, so they really encapsulated that well. But it was really good. It's kind of a strange story. involves a lot of like time travel, and the Century shows up in there for a second. It's a whole thing, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole thing. So those are the two that I had this week. Anybody else?
Yes. You mentioned it earlier. I read One World Under Doom by, what'd you say his name? Nolan?
Ryan North.
Ryan North, yes. Excuse me. Just one issue out right now. Super cool. Dr. Doom has become the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, and he has decided he is now president of the Earth. And he has decided to give everyone on Earth the same citizen status as you're a Latverian now. So now you have free healthcare. You have everything that all the citizens from Latvia have been enjoying their whole lives, but you just have to do everything that I say. And so I have outlawed war because you are all citizens of the same place now, and so I can't have you fighting each other because you're all friends. And so it's weird reading it under the current political climate, because I'm like, I got the same vibes from the movie where I was thinking, I don't think that they thought that we were going to be where we are when that movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And also with this comic, I think that because I've mentioned that before, that it seems like a lot of times comic books nowadays are like fighting aliens or clones of each other to try to like stay away from like political issues.
Mm-hmm.
But this comic seems to be taking them head on, so quite interesting. There's even a whole thing where he's like he's associating himself with Baron Zemo to help take over the world and stuff. And
he says Hydra is now going to be building schools and removing landmines from war zones.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing now.
Yeah. Well, because it's a spoiler alert. Like at first, they're like attacking him, like they're like, Baron Zemo does not kneel to any man, and then the next day, 5 minutes later, they're on the internet, and Baron Zemo's like shaking his hand, like there couldn't be a better candidate than Dr. Doom, and so it's like, what? So it's a pretty good read. This guy knows how to write a comic, so I'm excited to see the next issue.
Yeah, the superhero reaction when he's like, Latveria's provinces can't be at war with each other. We're going to have everyone's treated as a human, and everyone gets healthcare as humans, and everyone gets access to higher education. And some of the superheroes are like, I mean, this can't be real, right? Like, I think that's what they said. Like, this isn't real, right?
Yeah, they instantly go to attack him. He announces all this stuff, and the first thing they do is they go get him. So it's like, wait a second, hang on, guys. But quick cameo in there. They brought back the Tyrannosaurus Doom.
Yep. Wait, is Doom riding a steed that's himself and a dinosaur? Yes. Yes, he is. Yeah. Ryan, Andrew, you guys check anything out this week?
Nope, I don't read comics.
I knew it.
I can't read.
It's very brave of you, Ryan.
He's very good at looking at the pictures and putting it all together.
He gets the context. I kind of get what they're doing.
He's like, this is about oppression.
All of your love comes from the X-Men because they're colorful.
Yes.
It's like baby sensory books.
Nothing, Ryan, or did you get anything?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
I don't have anything.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening this week. You guys got some plugs you want to do?
Follow Velleity Studios everywhere that your social medias are sold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next week is going to be fun because it's Daredevil Day next Tuesday. So we'll see what state of mind I'm in if we're recording and I'm having to wait to watch, because the episodes aren't coming out until like 8 p.m., 7 or 8 p.m. or something like that. So
I thought it was like a holiday.
It is. It's Daredevil Day.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Daredevil Day for me. It's my own personal holiday. I get it every 10 years.
I thought you just put on the costume and then you go to the store
I also do that.
and
That's
you
part
make
of it.
everybody address you as Daredevil. It's Mr.
And if-
Daredevil to you.
Yep. I pretend to be blind and knock things off shelves. It's not problematic at all.
There's some kid that's just put up like 800 cans of beans into a display. And here comes Luke in his costume. What's going on? Crash.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Nerd Dome Podcast. If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and write in and we will get to them. Ryan,
Don't forget to subscribe.
you may now exit the dome.
Hey, fuck responsibility.
I could see the whole time.
Hail Hydra.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say here.
It's the zoom in that gets me every time. All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.